Good evening, everyone, and thank you for joining us. I'm David Gonzalez. Texoma law enforcement agencies are investigating 3 separate officer-involved shootings over the weekend. The city of Wichita Falls will use an anti-evaporation powder on Lake Arrowhead in the effort to make sure every drop counts. The ongoing drought has everyone finding ways to conserve water, and that includes one local restaurant. Employees at On the Border have started serving bottled water instead of tap water.
So, David, how is the crowd out there?
Hey, Gwen, since the gates opened at 3:30 this afternoon, this place has been packed with people that have flocked to this area to enjoy this year's Freedom Fest. We're on the scene of this major accident here on Kell West. As you can tell behind me, traffic is completely shut down. I think one of the most emotional things that you can see right now is the school bus that the team arrived in earlier today. Weather conditions, as Skip said, have gotten a lot worse over the last half hour. Vernon's high school football field looks pretty green, but when you get down below, you can actually tell that the soil is pretty hard, which adds an extra element of danger for football players. The impact of the ongoing drought is clearly visible here at Miller Creek Reservoir. Ake says the reservoir sits at 11% capacity, but only about half of that is usable. All I have to say is those people that said it doesn't rain in July don't know what they're talking about. But that's none of my business.
I got to change my forecast. I mean, yeah, good night.
All right, good night. See you tomorrow.
What is this water going to do to me? I have enough trouble. I don't want to have to worry about if I want to drink water.
The day-to-day life of Ryan, Oklahoma residents like Valerie Kimbrough have changed significantly after the town issued a mandatory boil order on July 10th when water samples tested positive for E. coli.
It's very hard for me to carry a paddle here, so I have to do it in little pitchers. There's people that can't even do that. What do? You know, we need help. It needs to be done, taken care of now.
The boil order in Ryan is not only affecting the residents in town, but if you were to walk into a business just like this one, you'll find out that the employers cannot use the water for their daily operations.
The convenience stores and cafes and stuff like that, it hurts because that's revenue for the city, that's revenue for the people that own the businesses and stuff.
Ryan officials say they are doing what they can to fix the issue, but haven't been able to find the source of the contamination.
We can't pinpoint exactly where it came from. It's a big distribution system to pinpoint. But all we can do is just keep following up with the state's rules and just keep working on from there.
Because the whole process takes about 15 minutes, it's an inconvenience that has people appreciating the valuable resource.
We're asking people just to be patient with us. We are working on it. We will get it corrected. Everything is wrong, can be corrected, and will be corrected.
When you don't have it, believe me, you miss it. There's no doubt about it.
It's the sound of a mother's heartbreak that needs no translation. Almost 3 years after 13-year-old Gloria Montoya was killed, Gloria's mother and the rest of her family gathered at her tombstone, adorned in her favorite colors, pink and black, and her last school picture staring back at them to remember her life.
I would love to see her. I will never get to see her again. I ask myself how she would be now at 16 years old.
Gloria died along with her cousin Yenny and Yenny's unborn baby after Teddy Whitefield, a Wichita Falls police officer at the time, hit the car the teens were riding in. Whitefield is charged with manslaughter, but last week he entered judicial confessions to a lesser charge.
He is not taking complete responsibility, just halfway, because he is not saying everything. For him, it's something small, but for me, it's not. It's a lot. He took my daughter.
He caused us a lot of pain, lots of heartache. He destroyed our family. He ended everything. We don't have peace because it's a void we can never fill.
Gloria's father, Arturo Montoya, says justice has not been served. He wants the legal system to be as fair as possible.
It wouldn't return our daughter, but we do want justice. If that was me, I would be locked up and even be facing the death penalty.
As they await closure, Gloria's family says her memory will live in those who loved her the most.
It's about saving lives.
Which is exactly what Army officials say this weapons system will help do.
These soldiers deploying means that some soldier, some airman, a civilian contractor gets home alive and is not injured or killed by indirect fire.
Soldiers from the 2nd 44th Air Defense Artillery Regiment out of Fort Campbell, Kentucky, are at Fort Sill training on the weapon they'll be using in Afghanistan. The counter-rocket artillery and mortar, or CRAM system, is used to detect incoming rounds in the air before they hit their targets on the ground.
It's a dangerous operation. That's a lot of ammo going in, a lot of moving parts. They're off the ground, very easy to slip, fall, somebody get a hand caught in the wrong place. And it's about force protection. It's about everybody knowing what's going on and taking care of our soldiers. Lieutenant
Colonel Tim Schaffer says this joint training at Fort Sill is essential to ensure the safety of soldiers and civilians overseas.
So them being out here, validating what we're doing, sharing their experiences with us has been absolutely critical to this training being successful. It's all about communications. You can hear the communications inter-team going on behind me. Everything we do is cross-talk, making sure that everybody around us knows what's going on.
Important training here in Texoma that will help these soldiers through their next deployment and back to American soil safely.
They're absolutely confident in this battalion's ability to deploy, execute our mission, protect our soldiers, and bring them home.
David Gonzalez, KFDX 3 News.